Hey there, and welcome to the Contentment Creator Podcast, the show designed especially for creative entrepreneurs just like you who are committed to a beautiful life that's rooted in courage and contentment, and that's blooming with creativity and prosperity. I'm your host, Ellen Broen, a certified life coach, a singer, a mother, and a lover of alliteration, dogs, and deep conversation. This show is designed to become a part of your daily routine to help you, fellow contentment creator, dig deep to clarify your life vision, catalyze your creative flow, and fuel your entrepreneurial fire in just a few inspiring minutes each day. Each Monday, we talk about conscious living, and today's episode is all about the stories we tell about our kids and why they matter. Every day, we tell stories about ourselves, about our relationships, and about how the world works. And most of the time, we don't even realize we're doing it. We have stories about who we are, who we're not, what we're good at, and what we struggle with. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, we've been practicing the art of choosing these stories with intention. Because the stories we tell shape our reality. But there's one area we might not always think about applying this to: the stories we tell about our kids. The words we use to describe them, both in their presence and behind their backs, aren't just words. They're narratives shaping their identity in ways we may not even realize. Neuroscience says that kids internalize the messages they hear repeated, especially from their caregivers. And let's be real, sometimes those messages aren't exactly carefully curated. Sometimes they slip out in a moment of frustration. He's so stubborn. She's such a handful. He's not a math kid. She's so shy. We might think we're just venting or describing what's happening in the moment. But kids take these words and turn them into definitions of who they are. I'm bad at math. I'm too much. I don't like trying new things. I'm the difficult one. And once that story takes root, they start living into it. Now, this doesn't mean we need to be walking on eggshells every time we open our mouths. But what if we just got a little more conscious about the stories we're telling about our kids? Let's talk about labels. We all do it. It makes life easier to categorize things. We've got the responsible one, the wild one, the picky eater, the bookworm. And sometimes these labels come from a good place. Maybe we're trying to celebrate something about them. But when labels get rigid, they can box kids in. If a kid is always called the shy one, they might hesitate to step out of their comfort zone because that's just, quote, not who they are. If a child is always referred to as wild, they might lean into that role, even when they're capable of being calm and focused. This is why reframing is so powerful. Instead of saying, she's so shy, try, she's still warming up to new people. Instead of, he's bad at math, try, he's still learning problem solving. These small shifts reinforce growth instead of limiting beliefs. And we can take it one step further by catching them in the act of being the kind of person they aspire to be. If a child who's labeled shy speaks up in a group, we can say, I saw you being really brave today. If the picky eater tries something new, instead of making a huge deal about it, we can casually reinforce, you're getting really good at being adventurous with food. And then there's the words we say to other people about our kids, even when they're not around. This is where the power of storytelling gets deep. When we tell a friend, oh, he's just terrible at focusing, we're reinforcing a narrative, even if our child never hears it directly. It shapes how we see them. It influences the way we interact with them, which then influences how they see themselves. So here's something to try. What if we told stories about our kids the way we want them to see themselves? What if, instead of focusing on what they're struggling with, we emphasize the ways that they are growing? What if, even when they make mistakes, we frame it as she's learning responsibility instead of she's always forgetting things. Our kids are absorbing our words, but more importantly, they're absorbing the energy behind them. If we see them as capable, growing, and full of potential, they'll start to see it too. So let's be intentional about the stories we tell, not just about ourselves, not just about our relationships, but also about our children. Because the words we choose today become the beliefs they carry into tomorrow. Thank you for being here with me today. Join me here tomorrow if you're curious to know the counterintuitive way to make our children highly successful. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share the love by sending it to someone you know it would support and by leaving reviews and comments. It would truly mean the world to me to hear from you and to support those you care about. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a day and join me in my mission to help a world full of content creators become a world of contentment creators.